Are you an inflexible person? How important is it for you to make the decisions or get your way in your relationship? How would others, especially your partner, answer these questions? Of course, everyone can be inflexible and self centered at times. But if we make a habit of it, it can quickly become destructive to our relationships. Hi, I'm Michael Clark with the Ananias Foundation. And in this video, we're going to talk about compromise in a relationship. We'll cover why we might remain rigid and inflexible and the benefit of compromise and generosity.
If you want to stop causing harm in your relationships, you're on the right path. This is Journey of Change, a video series to help you become the safe, loving partner you were meant to be.
Maybe you are someone who doesn't back down in an argument. Possibly you simply withdraw from conflict and stonewall, refusing to resolve the issue, which has the effect of you winning because the status quo is maintained. Perhaps you refuse to do a favor for your partner, thinking purely in terms of what it will cost you, rather than also considering how your help will benefit them. To be sure, all of us can be stubborn and focused on ourselves at times. But if we make a habit of it, if we seldom compromise in our relationships, and almost always must have our way, we may be crossing the line into controlling behavior. This can make our partner feel disrespected, like we're not on their side, and fearful that they don't have a voice in the relationship. It's a surefire way to destroy closeness and intimacy with our partner. If you see yourself even a little bit in what I'm describing, then you and I are in the same boat. Some people will chalk this up to just being selfish or having a superiority complex, but I don't think that's accurate. We need to go deeper and ask, why do we refuse to compromise in our relationships? Maybe the more useful question to ask is, what do we think might happen if we don't get our way? Often, when we refuse to compromise in a relationship, it's because we're coming up against something that challenges our self-esteem or triggers a deep down fear. Some common examples include feeling like we're not trusted, not respected, don't have a voice, or don't have any power. We may be feeling like we're not going to be okay because we're not going to have enough money, enough time, enough success, or that we simply don't measure up in some way. By insisting on having things go our way, we're attempting to regain a sense of control and security. We're trying to prove our worth. When we equate getting our way as being important or valuable, we've bought into the lie that damages our relationship and us. This can translate into selfish, unkind, or even abusive behaviors. Let's look at a couple of examples just to illustrate this concept. A few days ago, I was getting ready to start my workday when my wife asked me to change a flat tire on her bike. Great, I thought. I have loads to do today, and now I have to spend 20 minutes wrestling with her bike and getting covered in grease. But what was really going on with me? That morning, I was feeling anxious and stressed about how much work I had to do, and maybe a bit guilty about not starting earlier. Her flat tire was an interruption I hadn't planned for, and it felt like it would put my whole day out of sync. Deep down, I worried that I wasn't going to get enough done, which leads me straight into a I'm not good enough mindset. Then I push back and become uncooperative and unhelpful. Okay, here's another example. I have a friend who always had to choose the music when we were in her car or at her house. If anybody suggested something else, she would refuse, hurl a bunch of nasty insults about their taste, and sulk for the rest of the day. Why did she find it so difficult to compromise? Sadly, she was a struggling musician whose career wasn't going anywhere. Whether she realized it or not, being the one who chose the music was a way for her to feel in control of her life. When someone wanted to listen to something else, she subconsciously felt like she wasn't being respected as the music expert she wanted to be. Our refusal to put others' interests ahead of our own, or our refusal to compromise, is based on our fear that we will not have enough, or that we are not enough. A posture of inflexibility and an unwillingness to compromise, however, is damaging to our relationships. It doesn't help us get what we really want. If we insist on having it our way, we'll only succeed in upsetting our partner and isolating ourselves. So how can we learn to let go? Start by discovering your fears. Think back on a time when you were insisting on getting your way. What was going on underneath? The thoughts and fears behind this behavior are often untrue and distorted, making things seem like life and death when they're really not. For example, spending 20 minutes on replacing that flat tire on my wife's bicycle wasn't going to ruin my day or stop me from doing everything I needed to do. Letting someone else choose the music doesn't mean they don't respect you or that you're failing at life. By identifying and challenging deeper hidden thoughts like, I'm not good enough or I'm not going to be okay, we can get better at compromising in relationships. Next, check your expectations. Thinking we can be in control all the time is an illusion. We cannot and will not get our own way all the time. It's just not how the world works. Accepting this fact is incredibly freeing. It means all we have to do is focus on our own thoughts and actions and no one else's. Now, third, consider what is to gain from compromise and generosity. When we back down, give our partner some slack, let them decide, or avoid conflict, we instead create peace and harmony. Better still, we get the satisfaction of doing something good and seeing our partner's happiness and gratitude. Best of all, we set off a joyful feedback loop. Our partner will often return the gift, and our relationship will grow closer as a result. I'm Michael Clark with the Ananias Foundation, and I hope you found this discussion about the benefits of compromise in a relationship to be helpful. Take care, and I'll see you in another video.
Thanks for joining me today. I'm honored to be on this journey of change with you, and I hope I've helped you in some way. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments section below. We'd love to hear from you. Also, be sure to hit the like button, share this with others who might find it helpful, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our future videos. For more resources, head to our website, ananiasfoundation.org. Until next time, take care and remember, change is possible.